What is going on, everybody? My name is Going for Broke 22, and I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I have found time to record one more episode today. So I'm just picking up a little while after we had last left off, and I have gotten a couple things done. I made a bunch more water, and as you can see, I gathered some firewood. Um, and the bad news is that we are out of food. So I figured, since I had to go out and gather food anyway, I might as well continue recording. And we have a plan this episode. We are going to be going to two locations, which I will reveal later on. But in the meantime, I have a decision to make. I could try to deal with Yogi now, but I think I'm going to leave him be because I can't really afford to mess around with the bear right now. That would be a terrible idea to do unprepared. Um, but we do need food, and that bear would mean a lot of food. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you all a neat little trick for dealing with bears. So, if you ever want to go bear hunting in this game, all you have to do is find a slightly elevated surface, like this one over here. As a matter of fact, this would be perfect. And then you're going to want to climb up on this a fair distance. And then you're going to want to throw a stone. He was too far away to hear the stone. Okay, well that complicates matters. Basically, you're supposed to lure him over here, and then the plan from there is to shoot him dead. But since I can't really do that, I'm gonna do something really dumb. That got his attention. I missed that shot? Okay, well I missed that shot. Landed that one. That was a really embarrassing miss, all things considered. But that was a headshot. So with any luck, he will be down before too long. We're not going to talk about how I missed that shot. Yeah, that we don't need to talk about that. I am going to track him down, though. Which direction did he go, even? So I think he went this way. Oop, sounds like he scared off Mr. Wolf. So good to know we're going to have some more company up there. Now, the smart thing to do would be to just wait, because he will eventually bleed out. But if I ever claim to be a smart person, because to the extent of my knowledge, I have not, as I am anything but. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chase down that bear. And I am going to put another shot in that bear, and I will hopefully bring him down. It kind of sucks that we wasted one of those bullets. That was definitely not part of the plan. Then again, this entire encounter was somewhat off the cuff to begin with. Since that is like a bear, it's not going to run too far, so you should still be in this area. Just have to be careful because there's no guarantee that the next shot will bring him down either. Here's his fucking footprints. Try to focus here. Apologies for being quiet, folks. But the bear is in fact close by. Now never do what I am doing. This is very dumb. But considering we needed the food and everything, I see the bear. Now I've got to deal with these wolves too. Okay, the bear has been spotted. This is actually working out kinda because this is towards the way I want it to be going anyway. So I'm gonna crouch up to him. I'm gonna get a little closer. I'll fire another shot into him. Sorry about that, Yogi. It's either you or me. Now I'm going to be starting a fire. Our fire striker is also getting fairly low, which is a bit of a problem. But since our fire starting skill has increased, that means that now we will have an easier time starting fires even without the fire striker. So I'm.
That didn't work.
You know, I feel like that's karma for something or another. At least now we can use the magnifying glass, which isn't as expensive. But yes, as you probably just saw, our fire striker just completely broke on us, which is just fantastic. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showcasing something. When you harvest a animal carcass, you have two options. You can either harvest it straight up like we've been doing, or you can quarter the bear, or anything really. It would probably be best to quarter him, because that's going to take less time overall. But what I'm actually going to do, screw it, I'll quarter him. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to harvest 5.5 pounds of meat off of him. Take about 30 minutes. I'm going to harvest this bear in bits and pieces, because we need the food like now. I'll put these in. I'm going to cook these up. Take an hour. In the meantime, I'm going to be harvesting his pelt and 1 unit of guts.
I could eat a horse.
Now I'm going to be eating these pieces of bear. We've got an hour left on the fire. So now we've got these 2 hours left on the fire. Now I'm going to proceed to quarter the rest of the bear.
It's getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
And now it's nighttime. As you can see, we have quartered the bear. And it has essentially divvied him up into various pieces.
Too heavy.
And I'm looking for the rest of the guts, but I don't see him. How? But anyway, as I was saying, sorry about that, got distracted. So quartering is a matter of your situation, because it's always going to take 2 hours to quarter an animal, no matter how big or small or whatever the animal is. But it also makes them easier to carry around, because it just chopped the bear up into these tiny little pieces, which we can now carry back with us a lot easier. But in return, the meat itself we have to harvest every time we go to use it out of these bags. And the other downside with doing that is that the meat itself will start off at a lower quality, meaning it will spoil faster than if we had not quartered the bear. But for animals that are extremely heavy, like the bear or the moose, quartering is usually the way that most people will do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring these pieces of the bear back to the cabin. And I am actually going to wait until the morning to go grab the rest of the bear. So I'm going to harvest some of the meat off one of these quarters and cook it all up so that we have some food to last us for the night. But as you saw, that bear took 3 shots to bring down. Well, technically 4, but I missed 1. So I don't think that entirely counts as the shot, being required. I'm going to drop one of these for now. We're going to go in here. Apologies for bumping my mic there, I did not intend to do that. And then immediately I'm going to be dropping this black repel on the ground, because that is going to take a million years to cure. Get close to the bed, and drop all 10 of the bear guts as well. Now I'm going to be starting another fire and cooking up some of this bear. Because we are essentially going to have to wait to pass the night here. So let's harvest all 10 pounds of bear meat in this bear quarter. And let's start this fire up. Now, we no longer have our fire striker or books on hand, so unfortunately we do not have the best options for this. I believe I may have forgotten to pick up my skillet and cooking pot. I'm really hoping that is not the case.
That did it.
It is certainly the case. Well, it's a good thing we'll be going back there tomorrow anyway. For now, I'm just going to cook up all of this bear meat so that we have some in case we ever need it. And now that Yogi is no longer an issue, we should be good to go to our destination that was originally intended. I actually used up all of my water from before. It's a good thing we got more of it. So now we're going to sleep for maybe about 8 hours this time because we're not terribly tired. Grabbing some more water just so that we have some to start the day. Eat this chocolate bar that I forgot was in my inventory. Might as well. Take this as well. As you can see, a lot of the stuff that we have been collecting is starting to cure slowly but surely. And we are going to be going to go harvest the rest of that bear, or rather pick up the quarters that we left behind. And then once we've dropped them off here at the base, we will continue on to our destination that we had originally intended to go to. Let me eat this piece real quickly. I'll drop these for later. And it is worth noting that these bear quarters, if you leave just meat on the ground out here, it will not freeze. But the bear quarters, since they are technically harvestable, they will begin to freeze if you leave them outside. So make of that what you will. Now, I'm hoping at some of these locations we're going to be going to, that we will be finding, we will be able to get our hands on some more ammunition for our rifle here, as we are, we're under a clip of ammo now, so we are going to eventually run out. Unfortunately, there was a wolf in this area, but that whole scuffle seemed to have scared him off by quite a bit. Like, he went running pretty far once I fired those 2 shots. Oh, there's the little shit. I bet you better not, excuse my French, better not be getting into my bear carcass. I'm going to attempt to avoid this conflict if I can. So much for that plan. Well then, now we have another thing to harvest. Ah, I was dumb. I shouldn't even taken that shot. I was greedy. I was greedy. Oh well. Oh, I did not realize how cold it was out here. Holy crap. Okay, I'm grabbing the rest of the bear and bringing this stuff back with me. This is unfortunately going to weigh us down quite a bit.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
So I'm going to drop another piece of this and then hightail it back to the cabin. Well, that's what I get for being greedy, though. I missed that shot. And I'm gonna have to come back for this last bear quarter.
Freezing.
But first, we have to get inside and warm up, like, immediately. I will get to these 2 locations sooner rather than later. It just seems to be one detour after another here. But hey, on the bright side, the fact that we took out that wolf and that bear will keep us fed for the foreseeable future. And that bear hide will come in very handy. However, I'm debating whether or not I want to use it as soon as it's cured, because there are actually 2 different things you can craft using bear hide. One of them requires 2 bear hide. That's the thing that I was planning on actually making first and foremost. And the other requires 1. So either we would need to kill 2 more bears and make both, or just kill 1 more bear to make the thing I wanted, or I could just make the other thing as soon as that hide is cured. But my plan overall for this Let's Play is to search the entirety of Mystery Lake for supplies, and then with any luck, by the time that I'm done searching for supplies, I will have hunted enough. To where I am able to have a full suit of different fur clothing, which will allow me to explore with a bit more freedom. Now, this bear hide is going to take a while to cure. Since it's so warm in here, I am not going to need to start a fire or anything. I am going to sleep for about an hour, and then that should give me enough warmth to go grab that last bear quarter, and then we can finally set out, as I had intended to do from the beginning. Now we are definitely in need of supplies, because I do not have the ammo to do much more conflict. So I'm going to need to find things like flares to have an alternative way of getting out of wolf encounters. I suppose I do have my bow as well, but my arrow and bow are both close to breaking. Thankfully, I do have the supplies to make more. And just like you can find broken arrows and harvest arrowheads, you can get the arrows back from your arrows once they break, assuming you're able to go and retrieve them. I was actually quite pleased I managed to find that arrow that I had fired in the last episode at that rabbit, which missed and flew about 1,000,000 miles off target. Very glad I was able to actually find that. I'm not normally the best at stuff like that. And there is our last bear quarter. So I'm going to be taking this, dropping it back off at the base, and then we are finally going to set out. Because we do have one piece of bear on us, and we have some water, which should be enough to last us for now. I will probably grab a second piece now that I'm thinking about it, because this trip could last us. This trip could take a couple days, or maybe not. It's a fair distance away, but there are two locations we're going to be checking. One of which is right next to the other. I just have to kind of find my way there. And in order to do that, we are going to be traveling along the railroad to a place called Clearcut, and then checking a location up there. Then we shall be climbing a rope down the other side and checking another nearby location, both of which should result in some pretty good stuff. And as I said last time, we will also be picking up the key for that lockbox that we found in the cave up by the overlook. So that's definitely something to look forward to. But for now, I'm going to grab another piece of this bear meat just to hold us over. I'll be leaving the rest of this here, and we will set out. In all honesty, the more direct of a path I can take to this place, the better. So I'm going to be just walking out over the hills through here to get to our destination. Because I pointed out in the last episode, we are going to be heading to the Ranger Lookout, which is another Vista location here in Mystery Lake. However, we have not found the Polaroid to make use of it, but it is worth noting. It is worth noting that it is a Vista location. But we could always, I did bring some charcoal, so we could always map some stuff along the way. Then depending on our visibility, we can actually see a bit here, and as you can see, we have added more to our map. So I'd say that's pretty neat. We have scared that deer off, which is not the biggest deal. And crows have apparently begun to gather around this location because of the absolute just bloodbath that occurred here. There's also apparently a corpse here, which does not have a hunting knife. Still very much so in need of one of those.
I think I can use this.
He did have a revolver cartridge and an energy drink, though. Those energy drinks are quite interesting. They give you a temporary boost to your fatigue, but once they run out, they give you a bunch of side effects, including headaches, which would end up giving us a bunch of screen shake and everything that we then have to deal with. So I'm not too fond of using them myself. I usually carry an emergency stim pack on me, which have basically the same effect, but turned up to like times 10. And I only use that if I'm ever in a situation where I need to run and get to shelter fast, because it gives you temporary infinite stamina and lets you ignore your carry weight boost, or your carry encumbrance is the word I'm looking for. Jeez, couldn't think of it there. But I only use them in emergencies because they're so rare and they have so many side effects. We're grabbing a bit of firewood along the way, just in case we end up needing to stay the night in some form of shelter. That way we can start a fire if we need to. And I'm going to be traveling up this hill and heading in this direction until we hopefully find our way to where we're going. I'm out of bandages. So now we're going to be going there with a sprained ankle, which is just fantastic, isn't it?
Ouch! Damn, that smarts. I don't feel so good.
Yeah, I know, Mackenzie, I know. I think we're at least going in a semblance of the right direction. I know this is heading towards that cabin from before, but that's not necessarily where we are
I'm gonna
intending
need
to
some
go.
first aid. Soon.
So this sincerely
Smarts a bit.
blows. Excuse the French there, but it just seems like every time we walk up the slightest slope, our ankles just shatter from the pressure, which is absolutely no fun. We do have to be careful, because as we saw about 2 episodes ago, this is a moose territory. So if we're not careful, one could sneak up on us.
I don't feel so
And
good.
then in our current state, our options would be to shoot the moose or die, pretty much. And one of those two things is more likely than the other. As you may notice, up top here, there is there's some railings up there. So this is a more roundabout way than I intended to get there. But that is the place where we are going to be going, is right up there. I'm pretty sure that we are next to right now is the Destroyed
But
Lookout,
I'll make it.
which is the location of the original lookout from before the game updated and changed the location of it. But I could be wrong. This might be the intact lookout, and I would actually prefer that that is the intact lookout because it would have more supplies, and we are in a bit of a sorry state at the moment. But I do intend to hit up both locations for potential loot. Unfortunately, we would not be able to climb the rope down from the Destroyed Lookout, even if we got there, because of our current sprain. I do hope you all will bear with me in that regard. It's just at the moment, I do not have the materials to make any bandages. And considering I'm relatively close by to a shelter, I just figured I would head there. And try to see if I can find the materials to fix myself up. Okay. Good thing it sounds so hot here.
I'm gonna need to eat.
You need to eat? You're gonna need a lot of things, Mackenzie, and eating is only one of them.
Ouch! Damn, that
But I
smarts.
will eat this piece of bear meat because we are getting actually quite hungry. I will drink some of this water. And did I once again forget my skeleton things? I forgot my skeleton stuff were backed by the bear. That's not good. Like, to say the least, that's not good. But I can always go back and pick them up later between episodes. For now, I'm going to focus on getting us to this location. I'm looking at this more. I think this is the location where the Destroyed Lookout. I could be wrong. Yeah, I hear the ptarmigans. This is the Destroyed Lookout. There could be a first aid kit here that could potentially have some bandages. And then once I get that, I can head down the mountain using the mountaineering rope we find here, and then go to the proper lookout. Upon reaching the lookout and loading it for supplies, we will head back to the cabin with any supplies we find. And then perhaps that will be the end of this episode, because this was a rather exciting one, all things considered, wouldn't you say? I mean, we had an encounter with a bear and a wolf that both ended in our favor. And now we are exploring two of these locations. So I'd say all in all, this is going quite well. You have to be careful here. Got him. No, I didn't. Well, that was a veil of epic proportions. I was ever so slightly to the left. Oop. Thank you, Windows. Very cool. Kind of making a video right now. As you can see here, we do have a scroll message. Pause to read. And that will show us where this key goes to. And if you guys remember, in the last episode, on top of the overlook, there was a cave within which... I can't believe there wasn't a bandage there. Within which we
I don't feel so
found
good.
a lockbox that we could not open. Well, now we can go back there and open it if we so choose. I'm hoping there's like some cloth on the ground somewhere here,
Hurts.
because this is starting to get to be a bit of a desperate situation. Still a corpse over here. It's a deer corpse though, so it's nothing too exciting. Well, actually, one thing I can do is I can now break down these mittens for cloth. I can use these cloth to make bandages. And I can use the bandages to heal the sprain. Haha. So now that is healed, I'm going to be searching this supply bin, and you will get a couple things from this, but most notably, you are guaranteed to get a mountaineering rope from here, which is useful because there's actually a spot right near here where we can deploy that mountaineering rope. So the mountaineering ropes we've found thus far have been in set locations, but it is possible to pick them up and put them elsewhere. Like, for example, this rock right here seems sturdy, so we're going to deploy the rope here. And whereas climbing up the rope is very tiring, climbing down is never as bad. So we're going to head down here. And it is still quite tiring, but not as bad as if we were going up the rope. Now I'm going to do, excuse me. Nope, Mackenzie on the ground. There we go. I'm going to do a very complicated maneuver, because the destroyed lookout is up top on that mountain. So normally what you're supposed to do is walk around this entire way and find your way up the mountain the right way. But I always do this, and I would not recommend you do this, but this is how I'm going to do there, or how I'm going to get there to save time. That is, I'm going to climb up here and then kind of shimmy around the edge of the mountain until I can walk around onto terrain that I can then climb up. Which again, we've seen how well doing that has worked out in the past. Just to say that it has not worked out at all. But you'd think that eventually Mackenzie's legs would toughen up a bit. I also hear another group of ptarmigans I do intend on taking one of if I can make it there without incident. I despise this. Okay, but we have made it around. And we still have another bandage. Definitely going to need to find some spare cloth for stuff. But I do not have the painkillers left to heal that pain. So Mackenzie's just going to have to kind of grin and bear it. And in the meantime, we are going up here to hopefully get our hands on one of those ptarmigans. And up here we will see the actual intact Ranger Lookout. Now, the destroyed lookout that we just came from is actually the location of the previous intact lookout from earlier updates, and it has since been moved to this location. I've never actually seen the ptarmigans up here, so I don't want to spook them by mistake. I want to figure out where they are. see the lighters. I was debating shooting one with a bow and arrow, but I don't think I'm going to manage that. As you can tell, my aim with the bow is not the best. I cannot believe that the stone bounced. Bounced right off the rock in front of them. I will get that third time again one day. And when I do, I will show you what all those feathers we've been harvesting from them are good for. In the meantime, I'm going to climb this lookout. And then, once I've done that, we will end this video here. As in the intermediate between episodes, I will be returning to the Trapper's Cabin.
Dusk, so night can't be far behind.
And hopefully we'll find some good stuff while we're here. Painkillers and bandages, always in need of those. There's some more rifle ammunition, which is exactly what we're looking for. Fuck. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to mute my mic there for a second. As you can tell, we have found a hunting knife,
Excellent.
which is something that we've been looking for since literally episode 1. Here we also found some flare shells, which we cannot make use of quite yet, but those will come in very handy at a later date. And I might as well take everything we have here, so I will be heading back to the Trapper's Cabin in between episodes. But I'd say, all in all, this is a very successful episode. We had our first encounter with a bear, which went very well for us, in fact. On top of that, we managed to hunt another wolf, and we managed to visit both the destroyed and intact lookouts, and get our hands on a hunting knife, as well as a bunch more rifle ammunition and some more useful things. So I'm thinking that we are now going to shift our focus entirely to hunting, and then once we've gotten some hunting done, I'm going to be hitting up the Mystery Lake Dam. But before we hit up the dam, that's probably going to be a couple episodes from now, because the next episode is going to be probably dedicated entirely to hunting the remainder of the creatures that we need the pelts from to make our fur clothing. And from there, we will also be going to pay that moose a visit, potentially in the next episode. And yeah, I hope you all are very much so looking forward to that. But with that being said, I have been going for Broke22. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like. I will never ask you to, but it would be very much appreciated if you did. Feel free to leave a comment down below in regards to feedback or just general discussion about my gameplay or my commentary. Or if you just feel like saying hello, that's always appreciated as well. Feel free to subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, as I do plan on making more. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a great day.